class. So if you're feeling like getting in the spirit, you can crank up the heat in your house. The rest of your family may not appreciate it too much. But I still think you'll be able to build heat even if we're not in our typical setting um, with all the heat on. So if you want, you can go ahead and join me by standing up. We'll start standing. If you don't feel like standing, you can certainly do this seated in a chair or in some sort of seated position on your couch or on your mat to start, and then you can stand whenever you're ready. So you can come to some sort of standing position, and you can close the eyes, and then just begin to settle in here and arrive. If closing the eyes makes you too wobbly or dizzy, you can certainly just take the gaze down and just keep the eyes open. Maybe soften the gaze a little bit though. And you can begin to run through your day, kind of do a scan. How did it go? But try not to get too attached to what you find or what may come back up for you. And yoga non-attachment is a kind of a big focal point. You just try to learn to observe the mind and also kind of go through life and let things happen, but not be too attached to the results, the desires, the striving, the yearning for things. And you just kind of do what you need to do, and you go, oh, that thing happened. Okay, well, let's move on to the next one. So not letting the thoughts and past experiences or possible present experiences kind of guide our mind and let us get so attached to them that we miss what's actually happening in the present moment. You can also take a scan of your body, maybe noticing parts that feel good, things that don't feel so good, and always keep the not so good in mind when you're in class. And don't do anything that is painful, unless it's a sharp burning sensation. That should never happen. You just want a nice, gentle stretch along the muscles. So if ever you get into something that starts to hurt, just back out a smidge and make the pose work for you. You don't have to work any sort of certain way to get into the pose. And then just draw your attention to the breath. You don't have to change it just yet. But just notice it, watch it. Allow each inhale and exhale to nourish your body. Throughout class, if you just kind of direct your mindset to even inhales and exhales through the nose, that's a good practice. Also, if you're stuffy or it's irritating or anxiety producing to you, then don't worry so much about breathing through the nose. But equal inhales and exhales throughout class are, that's a good goal to have. And then if you want, you can practice Ujjayi breathing, doing a slight constriction in the back of the throat. It's ocean breath or victorious breath. So you can do that on your inhales and exhales. But once again, if it's anxiety provoking, then don't worry about it. You can kind of leave that behind. Just making sure you're breathing as you're moving. And then when you're ready, we'll start a little bit of movement here. So as you inhale, you can bring the arms up overhead and come up on the toes. Then exhaling, feet come down and then forward fold. Knees are probably bent here. Inhaling, coming back up, arms sitting up overhead onto the toe. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling the arms back up. Exhale, back down to forward fold. Inhaling, arms up onto the toes. And then exhaling, forward fold. On your next inhale, you can just come up. And then you can step out to your left. The legs can be kind of wide here, maybe about a little wider than your shoulders. The toes can point out to the edges of the mat. Arms are out. You can take a little back bend here if you like. This is star pose. On your next exhale, you can bend the elbows and the knees, coming down to a goddess squat. So here, try not to let the ribs or the back kind of dip, just making sure everything's tucked in. Inhale to star. Exhale to goddess. Inhaling to star. Exhaling to goddess. Inhaling to star. Exhaling to goddess. One more. Inhale to star. Exhale to goddess. You can come back up and then just step your left foot back in to your right. And then we'll just inhale the arms up. Exhale, you can let the right arm go down the right side of the body for a little stretch. Inhale, back up. Exhale, left arm down the left side. Inhaling back up. Exhale, right arm down the right side. Inhaling back up. Exhaling, left arm down the left side. Inhaling back up. Right arm down the right side on your exhale. Inhaling back up. Left arm down the left side. One more on each side. Inhale back up. Exhale, right arm to the right side. Inhaling back up. Exhale, left arm to the left side. Inhaling back up. And then you can exhale and just let the arms come to the sides. So we'll go to a quick pyramid pose here. So you can leave your right leg in front. You can step your left leg back. It's almost as if you're going into a warrior one, but we just won't bend that front knee and let the arms come up just yet. Your feet can be a little wider on the mat too, kind of thinking of being on skis rather than on a balance beam, or like train tracks. So the back foot will point out to a bit of a 45-degree angle. And then if you find that you've got too much distance between your feet, you can always step them in. You can bend forward from the waist. Try not to lock this front leg out. It can be really easy just to let all of your weight go into that knee joint. But if you put a little bit of a bend in it, and then lean forward, you can bring your hands to a block if you like. And this front leg can have a little more bend in it if you like. But if you try to straighten it a little bit, you'll notice more of a stretch for the back of the leg and hamstrings here. And then if you think for optimal alignment here, you can probably bend down a lot further if you allow your right hip to kind of pop out to the side. But you can keep your hips in line if you kind of think of pushing the right hip to the back of the room and then allowing the left hip to kind of be pulled to the front of the room. Goes from this to this. And you notice a totally different stretch here. And just breathing here. You can wiggle the head and the neck a little bit if you like. On your next breath, you can bend that front knee Maybe step your back foot back a little ways. And then inhale the arms up. You may have to wiggle that front foot out. And we'll just come to that warrior one here. The hips are kind of pointed out to the side. You can kind of try to straighten them back up. That'll give you a little bit different of a hip flex. You can also kind of leave them open a little more and think of just bringing the front, the chest, toward the front of the room. You can also leave the arms separate here. You can bring the hands together, putting the thumbs, over the hands, and then you can inhale. And this is just a little more conducive to back bending. So however you'd like to be, you can. On your next breath, you can step your left foot into your right. And maybe just kind of bending one hip then the other, or one knee then the other. And then when you're ready, you can step your right foot back. And we'll just come into that pyramid pose again. So bending forward from the waist, the back, the toes of that back foot aren't pointing straight to the front of the wall. They're in that warrior one stance. So those toes are at about a 45-degree angle. And then once again, see, you can come down, but my left hip has kind of popped out. So left hip, go to the back of the room, right hip being pulled to the front. And gosh, that just changes things a lot. Now, if that's inaccessible to you or causes pain to have your legs aligned here, you could allow a little more kind of given that hip, or you can also use more props so you're not coming down farther. That would probably be the better option. So then you still have that nice alignment in the hips here. When you're ready on your next breath, you can shift up. That back leg might come back a little more. You can bring the arms up either separately or together. You're in your warrior one here. Just breathing. On your next breath, you can step your right foot up to your left. And then we'll just forward fold here on the exhale. So the knees can be bent here. The feet don't have to be touching. They can be a little ways apart. Sometimes I'll take two fists, put them together between my feet, and that just makes it nice. Or you can do hip width apart, just something that's nice and supportive here. You can shake out the head and the neck. You can grab onto opposite elbows here for a ragdoll. When you're ready on your next inhale, you can come to a halfway lift. Whether hands are on the shins or the fingertips on the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, your arms all the way up overhead, extend a mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, the arms up overhead, extend a mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, the arms up overhead, extend a mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, the arms up overhead, extend a mountain. And then as you exhale, you can bring the hands together and lower the hands to heart center. Inhale, the arms up overhead, extend a mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, you can bring those hands to the mat. Step your right leg behind you and lower your right knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees, to the hips, or if you feel ready, you can bring the arms up overhead. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step back to plank. And then when you're ready, you can exhale and lower all the way down to the mat. And then we'll just inhale to cobra here. You don't have to come up super high at first. Exhale and lower down to the mat. We'll inhale and push up to plank. And then exhale, hips up and back to down dog. On your next inhale, you can lift your right leg up behind you. As you exhale, the right foot comes through to the hands. Lower your left knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees, to the hips, or the arms can come up overhead. Then exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale, step your left foot up to your right to come to a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead, extended mountain. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale the hands to the mat and step your left leg behind you. Lower your left knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees, to the hips, or the arms can come up overhead. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. Inhale and step back to plank. Exhale and lower all the way down to the mat. We'll inhale to cobra. And then exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale up to plank. And then exhale the hips up and back to down dog. Inhale your left leg up behind you. As you exhale, left foot comes through to the hands. Lower your right knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your hands to the knees, to the hips, or the arms can come up. Exhale your hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale. Step your right foot up to your left for a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. Then exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Step your right leg behind you. Lower your right knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. Inhale, step back to plank. Then exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale and push up to plank. Then exhale, the hips up and back to down dog. Inhale the right leg up behind you. As you exhale, right foot comes through the hands. Lower your left knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. Inhale and step your left foot up to your right for halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. Then exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Step your left leg behind you. Lower your left knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale your arms up. Exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. Inhale, step back to plank. And then exhale, lower down to the mat. We'll inhale to cobra. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale and push up to plank. Then exhale, hips back to down dog. Inhale your left leg up behind you. As you exhale, left foot comes through to the hands. Lower your right knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up overhead. Then exhale the hands to the mat. Curl your back toes. We'll inhale. Step your right foot up to your left for a halfway lift. Then exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up overhead. Then exhale the hands to heart center. You can let the hands drop to the sides, coming to mountain pose. So here, everything is really engaged when you're in mountain pose. The legs, calves, quads, hamstrings, glutes, the front core, the back core, your hips, back muscles, shoulders, the arms, everything is really flexed and engaged here, very strong. So just take a moment here to pause. We've been moving, and just kind of notice how you feel after getting about 20 minutes of movement. But don't worry, we're going to move some more. So when you're ready, you can inhale your arms up overhead, and then sit the hips back to chair. So in chair, make sure you're not kind of dipping the back too much. The hip or the ribs can sometimes be the issue. You can just put a hand there and kind of guide those puppies back. When you're ready, you can exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Then you can exhale back to your forward fold. We'll inhale and step back to plank. We can take a side plank here if you want. So you can bring the right hand to the middle of the mat, and then stacking the feet. You can also put a foot forward to kind of give you a little more stability. Hips are pushing up. You can look up at that top hand. When you're ready, you can come back to your standard plank. And then exhale over down to the mat. Inhale to cobra or up dog here. Exhale to down dog. On your next inhale, you can lift your right leg up behind you. As you exhale, right foot comes through the hands, but don't drop the back knee. Drop the foot instead. We're going to come to warrior one. So when you're ready, you can inhale and come up. And remember, you can take those hands together and do that more back bendy version as well. Wherever you're at, on your next breath, we'll shift to warrior two. On your next inhale or exhale, you can let that left arm drop down the left leg. You can flip the front palm under and scoop, and then let the arm slide down the leg. Reverse warrior. On your next breath, you can come back through to your warrior two, and then we can shift over to half moon if you like. So if you know where you're going, go for it. You may want to hop that back foot in a smidge, hop, and then tilt over, or you may just go for it. So here in your half moon, this front arm is out a little ways. If it's right under the shoulder, it's just a little harder to get stability. So allowing that hand to kind of come out in front. And then no matter how many times you fall out, it doesn't matter. Stacking the hips here, engaging that lifted left leg, foot. On your next breath, we'll gracefully sit that back left leg down, straighten the front right leg. You may have to do a little adjusting, but guess what? We're in triangle pose. How nice. So you can take your triangle pose. The hand can be on the shin, in the front of the right leg, or to the outside. You could do an extended triangle pose And use your peace fingers to kind of grab that big toe. Just not wanting this top shoulder to kind of cave over the bottom shoulder too much. When you're ready, on your next breath, you can bend this front leg. Let the left and the right hands come down. You can come up onto the ball, that back foot. And then when you're ready, you can inhale and step back to plank. You can exhale, lower down to the mat. We'll inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Inhale the left leg up. As you exhale, left foot comes through to the hands, but don't drop the back knee. We're setting up for warrior one again. So when you're ready, you can inhale and come up. On your next breath, you can exhale, the hands come down to the mat. Inhale, step back to plank. And then when you're ready, you can exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale the hips back to down dog. We'll just take a few breaths here. On your next inhale, you can look to the front of your mat. As you exhale, you can step, walk, or hop to come up to your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. On your next inhale, we'll bring the arms up overhead, sit the hips back to chair. On your next exhale, you can let the hands come to the sides, back to mountain pose. On your next inhale, you can bring the arms up overhead, sit the hips back to chair. Your most comfortable quarantine chair, might I add. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale and step back to plank. We'll do another side plank here. So this time we'll do the left side. So however you attempted this on the other side, you can do it again here. You can come back to your standard plank. And then when you're ready, exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Inhale the right leg up behind you. As you exhale, right foot comes through to the hands. Drop the back foot for warrior one. And then you can inhale and come up. On your next exhale, let the hands come down to the mat. Inhale and step back to plank. When you're ready, you can exhale and lower down to the mat. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, the down dog. Inhale, the left leg up behind you. As you exhale, left foot comes through to the hands. Set up that back foot for warrior one. And then when you're ready, you can inhale and come on up. On your next breath, on your exhale, you can shift to warrior two. a reverse warrior here, you can turn that front palm up, scoop, and then let the right arm slide down the right leg. On your next breath, you can come back to that warrior two, and then we'll shift over to half moon. So when you're ready, be brave, commit, and do it. And you can also do this up against a wall, with your back to the wall, and that would get you that nice feeling of really being in line here. Finding a point to look at and just stare a hole into it. Very helpful in balancing postures. On your next breath, gracefully let that back foot down, straighten the front leg, and we're in triangle pose. So once again, not too much weight in whatever hand is down on either your shin or the mat. And then just remembering wherever you're at, just make sure you're not compromising and letting the shoulders kind of sink over. You want nice openness here. On your next breath, you can bend that front leg, bring both hands down to the mat. Inhale and step back to plank. Now when you're ready, exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. And we'll take a few breaths here. On your next inhale, you can come up on the toes and look to the front of your mat. As you exhale, you can step, walk, or hop to come to your halfway lift. And we'll exhale, forward fold. Inhale the arms up, set the hips back to chair. Then exhale, hands come to the sides for mountain pose. When you're ready, we'll move to a bit of balancing next, a little sequence. So in class, when I offer balancing, I say you can do all, some, or none. Some people have different poses that they're working on, and that's cool. It is also nice to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and try something. But also, do what works for you and your body. If the poses I'm offering here aren't working, and you do know something that you can do that works, do it. I love it. So for the sequence this evening, we'll shift from a warrior three to a big toe, and then maybe to dancer. And so maybe you're like, ooh, I'm doing one of those poses. Or you might want to do the transition from one to the other, but not the third or something. That's cool. Just do some of it. It's all good for your back. The back side of your body, we're very front body dominant culture. We really don't use the muscles of the back. So any balancing that you're doing, very cool. So when you're ready, with that said, we can come to your warrior three. So warrior three, let's put the weight in our right leg first. Nice and straight. You can bring the hands to the hips if you like. And then when you're ready, you can just begin to lift that back leg up. Once again, this leg doesn't have to be locked out. It can just be kind of semi-bent here. And you don't have to lift. We're not looking for kind of like stacked hips like we were on our half moon. Here we're looking to keep the hips kind of squared to the mat. So you really don't have to lift that back leg up all that high. For warrior three, you can keep the hands at heart center. The hands can go out to the side, to the back, or to the front. This is so much fun, but if you're ready to move, you can slowly shift up, bring the left knee in, and you may have to drop that foot down. Then you can use your left peace fingers to grab on to your left toe. You are still balancing right here. You can stay right here. You can also see if you can straighten that front leg. You may twist and look to the back of the room. You may try to take this leg out to the side, or you may fall out, and that's cool. And then from your big toe, if you're ready, you can let go of that. Bring that left foot to the left hand, and once again, you can stay right here. This is very good balance here. But if you want to shift forward and progress a little further into dancer pose, you can just slowly begin to shift forward and then kick the left foot into the hand. And just coming back up when you feel done. Very cool, you did it, you made it. Feel free to pause me too if you want to play around with those a little more. Very cool. So we can do all this on the other side because there's two sides. We gotta show them both some love. So the left leg will be our strong leg. When you're ready, you can warrior three. Right leg comes up, and then do what you want with your arms. And it's always nice to have a little wall there, but you may overshoot and send yourself over a little too far. If you want to come up to big toe, just slowly shift that weight. Right peace fingers, grab onto that right toe. Remember, you can stay here. A strap is also really cool to try here. You can put the strap around the bottom of your foot and hold on. You can bring that left arm out, maybe looking back. You can see about taking your right leg out to the side. You can also then shift to dancer, right foot to the right hand. You can begin to lean forward, kicking the foot into the hand. Then you can come back up whenever you're ready. Simple as that. Also, it would be a bad idea if you are wanting to try any inversions or arm balances or anything like that. You can certainly pause me, do that, come back, and then finish. Or you can proceed to move right along. So we'll just do a little bit more movement here, and then we'll start to cool down a little more. So when you're ready, you can bring your hands back to heart center. When you're ready, we'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Then you can exhale, letting the hands come back to the mat. Inhale or exhale, and step your right leg behind you and lower the right knee to the mat. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up overhead. And then you can exhale, and you can bring your hands to heart center, to your knee, or to the mat, because what we're going to do is lift up into a crescent lunge. So you can just tuck the back toes under, and then you can come up, and then you can bring the arms up. However you get there is great. On your next breath, you can bring your hands to heart center, and we're just going to do a bit of a revolved crescent lunge here. So you can begin to twist to the left. You can bring the left elbow or the right elbow to the left thigh, and then really kind of push these hands together, and that can just help you get a little more twist. You can look up. You can also open the arms here, whatever feels good. On your next breath, you can let the right hand come down to the mat. You can inhale the left arm up. On your next breath, you can lower that right knee down to the mat, taking this nice twist here. And then you can exhale the left hand to the mat. Inhale and step back to plank. We'll exhale, lower down to the mat. And we'll just inhale to cobra here. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to plank. And then exhale, back to down dog. You can inhale the right leg up. As you exhale, you can bring that right foot through to the center, to your chest. And then if you want, you can drop the right foot out to the left. You can stay here, or you can lift the arm up, fallen triangle. Some people call this rock star, I think. You can bring the left hand back down, and then you can bring that right knee toward the right wrist and come to pigeon or swan. So pigeon, you've got most of the weight up on the shin here of the right leg, and there is space. My right thigh isn't really touching the mat. This is conducive to staying up. You can back bend a little more here. You can bring the arms together. You may even be able to kind of lift that back leg. You might fall over. Or this can be a little more restorative. You can drop all of the weight into that right thigh, and then you can come down on to the forearms here. That might feel good. And then we'll just stay here for about a minute or so you can close the eyes if you'd like. Just breathe. Notice the stretch. You can also do pigeon on your back. So let me show you that. If this is cranky on your knee and you've got some kind of knee pain, don't force this. You can lay on your back and do the same. So you would lay on your back, left foot on the mat, cross the right shin over the left thigh, and then you can lift that left leg up. This may be enough stretch for you, however. If it's not, you can lift that left thigh up, you can hold under the thigh, or you can hold on top of that shin. Now staying here, if you lean your weight over to the right side of your body, it's a little more mild, toward the middle, a little more stretch, and then if you kind of lean your weight over more to the left, a little more intense of a stretch. You don't have to do any of these things, but you just may notice different sensations here. And then if you are in that more traditional looking pigeon, or well, swan, you can do the same things here. Weight over to the right, different sensation, to the middle, maybe a little more intense, over to the left. You notice a different sensation, and it might be a little more intense. So don't do anything that's painful. Nothing should be painful. You should be able to stay here and breathe while we're here. And actually, by the time this is said and done, we will have spent 2 minutes here. So see, I told you 1 minute. Look, you've made it for 2. Very, very cool. If you are in this more traditional swan, you can start to raise up onto your hands. And if you're on your back, you can rock up to seated with that, and then put the right leg kind of sitting on the mat. If you are in this version of pigeon, put all the weight into your right thigh, and then swing the left leg around. Look where we're going, a seated twist. So right leg is bent on the mat, and then you'll just have the left foot on the mat. It can be in front of the shin, by the knee. You can let this left hip come up, and you can place this foot over by the right thigh if you'd like. You can let the left hand come to the mat. Inhale the right arm up if you like. And then exhale, right elbow to the left thigh. And then twisting, base of the spine up. The head and the neck should be the last thing to turn around. So if you think tailbone, low back, the thoracic cage, and then the neck, and then the head. And it's a little more difficult to breathe in a twist, but you should still be able to breathe in a twist. If you can't, kind of loosen it up a little bit. And you want a nice, tall spine as well. On your next breath, you can come through and let go of that twist. You can twist the other way if you like. And then you can come back through. And then you can come back up to a standing position here. You can bring the hands, start center. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to the mat. Step your left leg behind you. Lower your left knee to the mat for a low lunge. When you're ready, you can inhale the arms up overhead. And then you can bring those hands to heart center, to the knee, or to the mat. Curl the back toes and lift up to your crescent lunge. And then we're going to do that revolve twist here. So you bring your hands to heart center, left elbow to the right thigh, pushing into those hands, helping you twist that much more. On your next breath, you can let the left hand come down to the mat. Right arm can reach up for this different twist. On your next breath, you can let that right knee come down to the mat. And you can keep your arms like this if you like. Exhale that right hand down to the mat. Inhale and step back to plank. And then when you're ready, exhale, lower down to the mat. We'll inhale to cobra. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale and push up to plank. Then exhale, hips up and back to down dog. You can inhale your left leg up behind you. As you exhale, that left foot can come kind of through to the nose, and then you can drop the left foot out to the right. You can lift up the right arm if you like. You can bring it back down to the mat, and then come to your pigeon, and you can stay up, or you can make your way to your swan. So whatever feels good here. And each side of your body is a little different. So just knowing that and remembering it. And remembering that it doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things. It's just something to notice and pay attention to. Oh, my left side is a little weaker than my right side, or my left side is a little more flexible than my right side. Okay. Cool, good to notice. And also remembering here that you don't have to be in this shape for pigeon or swan. You can be laying on your back. If your knees hurt, I wouldn't try to force this, this way of doing it. I would just switch to the back for sure. You can begin to kind of shift up, weight into that left thigh, bring the right leg around, and then just put that foot wherever feels good. We're just going to come to that seated twist. So the right hand will be on the mat this time. When you're ready, you can inhale that left arm up. And then as you exhale, left elbow comes to the right thigh, twisting from the base of the spine up. On your next breath, you can come through, do that twist to the other side. And then we won't stand up again. You can roll down onto your back. If you are interested in taking a bridge pose or a wheel, you can certainly do that. You can keep knees into the chest. You can simply extend um, the feet up into the air. A shoulder stand and plow are very nice options here. You can take a happy baby, dropping the knees out to the side, and then grabbing on to the sides of the feet. You can be still here, or you can rock side to side. And then a nice little twist is never a bad option. So you can keep knees just into the chest and drop them to the side, or you could cross maybe right leg over the left, and then you can let the knees drop over to the left side. And you can look back to the left if you like, and keep the arms out into a T. Spinal flexion and flexibility here, the twisting motion of the spine. Once you lose it, it's very hard to gain it back. So trying to do a little bit of twisting every day is just a great idea for the health of your spine. On your next breath, you can come back to center. And maybe do like a windshield wiper between each side, letting knees drop to one side and then the other. And then if you're ready to twist on the other side, you can bring the knees to the chest, left leg over the right. And then you can let those legs drop over. Then you can look to the left if you like. On your next breath, you can come back to center. And then if you feel ready, you can settle in to your shavasana. So just finding some spot on your mat where you feel fully and completely supported here, not straining or trying really hard to lie still, but the position you're in, gosh, feels so great that you wouldn't move even if you really had to. And you can make this more comfortable by putting a pillow, a bolster, a rolled up blanket under the knees or under the neck. You can even cover up with a blanket if you feel like it. If you're in the studio, I would offer to do that for you, but unfortunately I can't today. And then just one last check before you really settle in to make sure you're not holding on to any tension anywhere. The feet, the toes, the fingers, the glutes, the back, or the face, or the mouth. Sometimes parting the lips will help to relieve a little bit of tension in the mouth, and then making sure the tongue isn't pressed up into the roof of the mouth. And then if you find your mind starting to wander, you can always come back to your breath. Just notice your inhales and exhales. With each breath in, you can repeat the word inhale, and as you exhale, you can say the word exhale to yourself. As you lay here, you can bring your attention, your mind's eye, to the space in the body where your heart would be. Maybe in that space you see a light or a color. Whatever color or light or image you see there is perfectly fine. Maybe while your mind's eye is focusing on this space, it can help you to create a list of things that you are grateful for. It might be a short list, it might be a very long list, but it's your list, so it's great. It's the most perfect list. As you think of each thing that you're grateful for, let the happiness and the joy surrounding your gratitude just well inside of this space where your heart would be. Let it build up. Let it fill your body up. Allow your body to become so full of happiness and joy and gratitude that you just can't contain it anymore in your own body. So you send it out to your loved ones and to your family, to your pets, to your friends, to acquaintances, to people you pass on the street, to the person that checked you out at the grocery store or the supermarket, postal worker. Let it to expand even to those who you have a hard time connecting with, spending time with, agreeing with, or seeing eye to eye with. Send them your happiness and joy and love. Then let it expand to all beings everywhere. Wishing well-being, health, happiness, and love to everyone, everywhere. You can begin to bring attention back into your body and back to your surroundings. Maybe allowing your inhales to become slightly longer than your exhales. Noticing the temperature of the air on your skin, the shape of your body lying on your mat. And then you can begin to move your body in any way that feels good to you, just slowly and gently bringing life and movement back in. And then when you feel ready, taking an inhale, you can roll to one side of your choosing, taking a longer, deeper exhale once you make your way there. And then when you feel ready, you can join me in a comfortable seated position. We'll bring the hands to heart center. You can close your eyes if you wish, or you can just take the gaze down and soften it slightly. Thank you all for tuning in and practicing with me. Even though we weren't doing it at exactly the same time, it's still great to know that we were trying to connect and still cultivate that sense of community and togetherness, even though we were trying to be mindful of the rest of the world and the situation that's going on, and staying in for the moment. May you be safe, may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. Namaste.